Good morning, friends. Prepared Suburbanite back with you. Well, on this take, I remembered to turn the microphone on. I just did this whole video with the microphone turned off, so that didn't work out real well. So take two. Today is like the coldest day of winter so far this year. When I got up this morning, it was 16 degrees. And it's cold. Took the dog for a walk this morning, as we do every morning, so she can take care of business. And she wanted to come right back in after she finished up because I think her feet were cold, and it's pretty bitter outside today. And we've got the threat of snowstorm coming Friday night into Saturday morning, and the forecasts are kind of all over the place, anywhere from a trace to an inch to 3 inches to 3 to 5 inches. So we'll see. But no matter what happens, Wake County, North Carolina will be in turmoil. So time to stock up on everything you need to make French toast. So you got to get eggs and bread and all that kind of stuff. So let's make sure that we're stocked up for a cold winter's day. But I wanted to get into some thoughts that I've had. My skepticism meter is running at full blast right now, and I want to get into a little bit of detail about why my skepticism meter is off the charts. So stick around right after the intro. So here's why my skepticism meter is off the charts right now. I'm sure you've all heard that Mark Zuckerberg has announced some major changes to the way the Meta platform is going to be working in the future. And we'll have to see how this all pans out. But he is getting rid of the fact checkers. And you've seen on Facebook, if you've got a Facebook account, you've seen the little blurb at the bottom of a post that says something about this is what's really happening and all that kind of stuff. So, but he's convinced somehow, he's convinced himself that the fact checkers were biased. And I have to agree with him on that point right there, because the fact checkers are biased on what they choose to fact check. If you go look at the fact-checking organization and their history, a majority of their fact checks are on conservative folks. And they'll let slide the nonsense and the baloney from anybody on the liberal left, and that just kind of goes without saying. But man, if you're a conservative and they know you're a conservative, you get fact-checked. And I've been fact-checked an awful lot. So with Zuckerberg's announcement here that's supposed to return his platforms to a free speech kind of a thing, we'll have to see how that's really going to pan out. It's been my personal experience that the community feedback kind of a thing, like is being done on X, that only works for folks that are willing to stick their neck out and do some stuff. So from personal experience, during the current presidential campaign, I posted a few pro-Trump memes on Facebook, and within 10 seconds I had a whole bunch of folks that are our followers, I guess, on Facebook chime in and just wreak havoc with their comments on me being pro-Trump. Oh, you can't possibly believe that. Oh, this is all a lie, la, 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 la. And off they'd go. I expect that that's what it's going to be like in Facebook, because most of the conservative folks have left Facebook and gone someplace else. And we'll have to see how this pans out. Now, what's the real reason behind Mark Zuckerberg's decision to get rid of the fact-checking organizations that proliferate his platforms? Well, I think if we go back about 4 or 5 years or so, and we'll have to see how far back this goes, but I'm saying a minimum of 4 years, that he cozied up with the current Biden administration and said, what can we do to help you get your messaging across to people and reduce the amount of misinformation and disinformation that's out there that you have to fight every day? What can we do to help? And they did. Yep, they hired the fact checkers. They went crazy on banning people that had a conservative bent, anything that had to do with getting these things done, whether you wore a face diaper or not. Those were the kinds of folks that were cast aside, that were put out in no man's land without a way to speak their truth. And that's what he did during the Biden administration. But now there has been a huge paradigm shift in the power structure. And on January 20th, Donald Trump assumes the presidency. He's been certified now. Everything's going in the right direction. So on January 20th, there's a new sheriff in town. And what was the first thing that Mark Zuckerberg did? He ran down to Mar-a-Lago and cozied up with Donald Trump and said the same thing that he said to Joe Biden. What can we do to help? And this is what he's doing to try to help. Now, first blush, this looks like a return to freedom of speech. And there's an awful lot of folks that are out there saying, yeah, this is the return to freedom of speech on these platforms, and it's a welcome change and all that. I don't buy it for a minute. This is going to be one of those kinds of things where the outcomes are going to be entirely different than what those kinds of folks are expecting. So, with that said, my skepticism meter is running at full blast on anything that Mark Zuckerberg is doing. He's simply trying to cater to the power structure. He's trying to make sure that he still has access to information, to power, to influence that the Trump administration can parlay on Mark Zuckerberg and his empire. And I ain't buying it for a minute. They still don't like Donald Trump, and as soon as he gets an opportunity to make other changes to his platforms, you'll see it happening. And remember that I said it here before it takes effect. So that's it with Mark Zuckerberg. My skepticism meter continues to run at full blast when we talk about Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk has been appointed by Donald Trump as one of the co-leaders of the Doge movement, the Department of Government Efficiency. And his immediate assignment is to find a couple $1 trillion in wasteful spending in the federal government. And I expect that he's going to be able to pull that off together with Vivek Ramaswamy, and that they will have a pretty decent level of success in reining in some of the wasteful spending that's going on in Washington, D.C., in our budget, our national debt. If we can begin reducing that to a level that isn't adding to it, and rather than adding to it, it's taking it down, then I'm all for that. There's an awful lot of wasteful spending going on in Washington, D.C. right now. As you could tell by Rand Paul's report recently, there was an awful lot of weird stuff that we're funding, with our taxpayer dollars. So here's where my skepticism meter is riding high right now. The Elon Musk is overstepping his boundaries, and I believe that Trump needs to keep him on a very short leash. He's injected himself in global politics, particularly in Great Britain, as they go through changes in Great Britain right now. He's injected himself into that, and he's getting quite a lot of negative feedback about that. But that doesn't have anything to do with what his current assignment really is. And I think we're going to have to keep a tight rein on Elon Musk. I think he's going to do some very interesting and brave things when it comes to the Department of Government Efficiency, but he needs to be reined in and stay out of the other realm, his far-reaching agenda. And I don't know what Trump can do to pull him back in, but he's going to have to react to that. Like to hear where your skepticism is, where your meter is right now. Are you on board with the changes that Zuckerberg made? And do you think that they're really going to make Facebook an open forum for free speech? Do you think that Elon Musk, his dabbling in foreign politics and foreign policy is part of what he's supposed to be doing? Well, I certainly don't myself. Like to hear what you're thinking. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see y'all on the next video.